This is the true story of Assassin's Creed, and in this video, we will trace that story from the very beginning, back to a time when even the gods had gods, up to the mind-blowing moments of the present. We'll cover every game, every hero, every philosophy, and every secret in the deepest way possible, without skipping a single detail. This isn't just the story of a game, it's the anatomy of the entire universe. To start our story, we need to go far beyond human history, about 77,000 years ago. Don't think of the Isu as a single alien race. They were just like us. They had politics, intrigues, philosophical differences, even civil wars among themselves. At their head was a sacred trio: Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Jupiter was the alpha leader, Minerva the calculating genius scientist, and Juno the most ambitious and dangerous. She harbored a special hatred for humanity. And the reason for this hatred? A full-on soap opera, or rather, a Greek tragedy. Juno's husband, Ida, was a true scientist who sacrificed himself to save civilizations. Juno could never accept his death and blamed humanity for it. Obsessed with bringing him back, she hid Ida's genetic code in human DNA like a virus. This way, her husband could be reborn as a wise being in different bodies over thousands of years. Imagine being trapped in an endless reincarnation cycle because of your wife's love. Juno's obsessive love would continue to haunt us thousands of years later. So where do we come in? The Isu played with the genetics of our primitive ancestors and created us, Homo sapiens, to serve them. Yes, you heard that right. Us. They designed us to be intelligent but docile slaves, even implanting a receiver in our brains that could instantly hypnotize us using technologies called the Pieces of Eden. But they forgot one thing. They made us too much like themselves. And this gave us the seeds of a dangerous idea called free will. The first to plant those seeds were Adam and Eve. Being human Isu hybrids, they were immune to mind control. They stole one of the most powerful mind control devices, the Apple of Eden. So Adam and Eve's famous rebellion wasn't just defiance against their masters, it was a moment of enlightenment for an entire species. The endless war between humans and the Isu distracted them so much that they failed to notice a massive solar flare approaching Earth. At the last moment, on Minerva's suggestion, they tried 6 different salvation plans: shields, orbit changes, time bending, you name it. But none worked. Their magnificent civilization perished due to their arrogance and negligence. All that remained were us and their dangerous artifacts. Thousands of years after the Great Catastrophe, we arrive in ancient Greece. The Isu legacy wasn't only in objects, it was also in blood. Kassandra, a descendant of King Leonidas of Sparta, wasn't just a mercenary, she was a hybrid carrying powerful Isu blood. This blood gave her superhuman abilities and the power to use Isu technology. Her struggle was against the cult of Cosmos, a group that controlled Greece from behind the scenes, trying to bring order through chaos. This cult represented the most primitive and ruthless form of Templar philosophy. They saw order as absolute power, not balance. Kassandra's journey took her to Atlantis, the ruins of an Isu city. But this city wasn't a physical place. It was an incredibly advanced simulation created by the Isu scientist Altair. In this simulation, Kassandra learned the true history of the Isu, her own nature, and the legendary piece of Eden known as the Staff of Hermes, which granted immortality. Altair gave Kassandra a mission: to deliver the staff thousands of years later to the one who would change the world's fate, Layla Hassan. Kassandra accepted and lived in history's shadows for 2,400 years, protecting the staff until 2018, when she found Layla in a cave and passed it on, becoming a living bridge between the ancient and modern worlds. Centuries later, in Egypt, Bayek and Aya transformed Kassandra's personal fight into an organized belief. The assassination of their son by the Order led them to vow revenge and justice, creating the Assassin Brotherhood in the sands of Egypt. Next, in 9th century Norway, we meet Eivor, a Viking warrior. His story shows that the Isu legacy was not just blood and technology, it was also reincarnation. Eivor wasn't an ordinary Viking. He was a reincarnation of Odin, leader of the Norse pantheon. The divine visions Eivor experienced were simulations run by Yggdrasil, a supercomputer in a hidden Isu facility in Norway, allowing him to relive Odin's memories. All Norse gods, Odin, Loki, Thor, Freya, were actually Isu who uploaded their consciousness to survive the Great Catastrophe. One of them, Basim, was the reincarnation of Loki, betrayed by Odin and seeking revenge for his slain children. Basim eventually trapped Eivor in the Yggdrasil machine and freed himself from millennia of captivity. Loki's unending desire for revenge would wreak havoc in the modern era. From the snowy lands of Valhalla to the scorching Crusades, the Assassin Brotherhood evolved into the organization we know today. Altair ibn Lahat, one of its most talented yet prideful members, defied the Order's principles and caused catastrophic failures. Altair's journey, confronting the Templars, the Apple of Eden, and the philosophy behind the Brotherhood, redefined the creed into one based on moral questioning rather than blind obedience. He rebuilt the Brotherhood and created its iconic tools: swords, armor, and the hidden blade. Ezio Auditore's story in Renaissance Italy follows the young noble transforming into a legendary assassin across 3 games. From betrayal and the death of his family, to fighting the Borgia and uncovering pieces of Eden, Ezio's journey bridges the past and present, linking to Desmond and Minerva's warnings about impending catastrophe. The saga continues in the New World with the Kenway family. Edward Kenway, a pirate with no purpose beyond wealth and fame, is drawn into the Assassin-Templar conflict. His son Hatham becomes a brilliant Templar, while Connor, born of a native woman, becomes an assassin fighting both his father and oppression. Shay Cormac's story shows the consequences of misguided good intentions as he becomes an assassin hunter. Finally, in the modern era, Layla Hassan continues the legacy, entering the Isu simulation with the Staff of Immortality, only to fall into Loki/Basim's trap. Today, modern assassins face allies and enemies who are thousands of years old, like Basim, whose motives remain unknown. So, friends, seeing Assassin's Creed as just a game about hooded men jumping across rooftops is like looking at the ocean and only noticing the waves. The real story lies in the deep, dark, philosophical currents beneath the surface. This isn't just a game series, it's an endless exploration of our history, mythology, philosophy, and future. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.